Welcome to our Tampines Hub for this special presentation of the ATT Singapore National Table Tennis League 2019. Here you see on screen, we have the start of the first game of the day. It will be the singles match in Division 1, a meeting between New Century and Sunspots Lygia. On screen, you'll see Sunspots Lygia represented by Josh Chua in orange, New Century by Yang Xin Yi, and here's the one in green. Of course, the format goes, it is a best of 5 series, so following the conclusion of this singles match, we will have a doubles match. It will be followed by another singles match, and if need be, a doubles match and a 5th singles match are scheduled to take place to separate the teams. This tournament started yesterday to much fanfare. Over 100 teams participating across 7 divisions and over 1,000 players on show. Of course, all our attention right here on One Play Sports will be on Division 1. As was the case yesterday. We've already seen New Century in action yesterday. And see, match has started. First point going to New Century. New Century still looking for their first win in this tournament. If you tuned into the stream yesterday, New Century were in action against Sunspots Elite. Was a close affair as they lost 3-1. Just got really lucky there. This ball just bounced off the net and in. Sunspots Elite, of course, the defending champions. This is their other team in Division 1, Sunspots Lygia. Sunspots Lygia already played 4 series in this tournament yesterday. Won just 1 of them, lost 3. So you could say this is the battle to avoid last place between the two teams. New Century played only 3 series yesterday, lost all 3. Looking to break the duck with victory here against Sunspots Lygia. That goes straight into the net. They're going for point, the two players. 5-5 now. Just under hit that. Great strike there from Josh Chua to win the point and level matters. We've got 3 series scheduled today on One Play Sports. Following the conclusion of this series, we will see the other Sunspots team, Sunspots Elite. They'll take on STTP Infinity. STTP so far the front runners for the Division 1 title. Still unbeaten, 4 out of 4 wins in the series. And the stream will end with the final series. Safra A, also another title contender, taking on SS Lygia. So you'll see more of that orange shirt today. New Century, we've seen them in action yesterday already. There's Sunspots Lygia. They will be in action again later today. already off to a good start. Sunspots Lygia. Here Josh Chua, victorious in the first game. Looking to repeat that here in the second. Off to a flyer. Reacted quickly, reacted well. Adjusted his body well to return that shot. The momentum still with the paddler in orange. That's 4 straight points without reply. Another great strike, just going across the table. Very difficult to return such shots. He's in a rush to get somewhere. 6 points now. Make that lucky number 7. Finally, new century on the board. Xin Yu gets his first point in this second game. He concedes another point. Got that all wrong. Was always rising. Josh extends his lead further. And now he has indeed won that second game. Makes light work of his opponent so far. Surging to a 2-game lead. Great start for Sunspots Lygia. Has hardly broke a sweat, Josh Chua. And now we'll get the third game underway. Brilliant technique there behind that shot. Just use the curve of the table. And he wins the point again. Just looks so cool, calm and collected, Josh Chua. It's another clever play. Saw a bit of space and exploited it. And the match is just slipping away from a new century. Much better from young Xin Yi. The new century paddler. Finally on the board in the third game. That's another point to the new century player. But he's struggling against the quality of Josh Chua. The difference in skill quite apparent here. Slowly making up ground. Josh so cool with his returns. But Xin Yi has persevered, cutting the lead to 3 points. Now just 2 behind. Now Joshua to serve. Just added a bit of power behind that for Xin Yi to go along. Xin Yi still keeping pace. Overhits that one. It will be match point to Josh Chua. It's a great strike for Xin Yi. He'll be pleased with that. And what a way to win the match. Josh Chua with a brilliant strike to put Sunspots Lygia in the lead. They now lead the series 1-0, thanks to this man, Josh Chua, who has made light work of his opponent, Xin Yi. Josh Chua wins the singles match in straight games. And as he exits the area of play, it is now the turn of the doubles competitors. In orange, the Sunspots Lygia team of Sean Ang and Chia Shing Ki. As for New Century, we'll see Chu Zeyin and Xiao Jiahao. And now just a bit of housekeeping between the players and umpire. We will have a coin toss. Umpire also just checking the equipment. Just making sure the pedals are in order. Now they will have the coin toss to determine who will go first. It's been a busy weekend of table tennis action here at our Tampines hub. If you're here in the arena, there's just so many games happening. Wherever you look, there's a table occupied. Players pitting their skills against one another. And that is the beauty of the tournament, the ATT Singapore National Table Tennis League. You have players of varying skills. As mentioned, 7 divisions. And you have teams not just from Singapore but also from the region. There are teams from Philippines, Indonesia, just to name a few. Now just moments away from the start of this doubles match. Sunspots Elite, Sunspots Lygia in the lead in this series. The team in orange ahead thanks to victory in the first singles match. Joshua winning it with relative ease, straight games win. And now the team of Sean Ang and Chia Shing Ki will hope to be inspired by that and replicate that result to put Sunspots Lygia further in the lead. Been a great start so far for the team in orange. By now, New Century, they get their first point of the match. That's well worked from Sunspots Lygia. See the two players clearly enjoying themselves, playing with smiles on their faces. Something that's always great to see, athletes enjoying their craft. New Century chipping away at that lead. Now just 4 behind. Just left far too open. Ball was inviting. And New Century made them pay. New Century building momentum. But that streak halted with the smiling duo of Sean Ang and Chia Shing Ki. And that's wide. Sunspots to serve. That's straight into the net. So that will mean Sunspots Lygia with chance to take the first game. Unable to do so in that instance. Let's see the score. New Century 3 points behind. But they have conceded that point. The first game goes to Sunspots Lygia. The team in orange looking good. Starting out the day brightly. Already leading the series 1-0. Following Josh Chua's win in the first singles match. New Century with an uphill task now. Down by a game in the doubles match. They would want to rectify that quickly. See Chu Zeyan and Xiao Jiahao earlier for New Century in green. Deep in discussion with several teammates on the bench. Sunspots Lygia, the players living up to their team name. It's looking like they're in for a casual Sunday leisure stroll. And they picked up from where they left off in the first game, winning the first point here in the second. He was ready for that. Great teamwork. A lot of communication between the two. Sunspots Lygia racing to a 4-0 lead in the second. That's slightly overhead. New Century just can't seem to string together a run of points. Oh, he got that shot all wrong. Probably fooled by the flight of the ball. Couldn't get his pedal in the right position. But they wouldn't mind as they get another point to further extend their lead. They're now 5 ahead. This Sunspots duo been hardly troubled. Great strike there. He saw an angle. Was perfect for a strike into that area. And a similar reply from New Century. Similar to the point they won earlier. Now game point for the team in orange. That goes long. And Sunspots Lygia now lead 2-0. Looking relaxed as ever. clearly enjoying the game so far. Same can be said for New Century. Pressure on them now to deliver. New Century, of course, still looking for their first victory in Division 1. Sunspots Lygia, they've already got a win yesterday. They played 4 series, won just 1 of them. And now New Century, 2 points up in the 3rd game. A breath of fresh air for them, being in the lead for a change. Was looking good for the team in green. Racked up 3 straight points. But Sunspots Lygia unfazed by it all. Got his serve all wrong. It's now all square in the 3rd game. The serve will be retaken. Couldn't get his pedal in the right position to steer the ball over the net. Another mistake by New Century as the ball went straight into the net. That one was lobbed over the table. New Century back in the lead, not for long. This man has been very lethal with such shots. Here is now with the serve. Forced the error, and now Sunspots Lygia in the lead in the 3rd game. They had been behind. And as we've seen in the previous 2 games, the Sunspots team slowly flexing their muscles. But this team here, New Century, they need a performance. Now 9-7 in favor of Sunspots Lygia. They are closing in on another win in the series. It's much better from New Century. And they've tied it up to 9-all here in the 3rd game. Stray ball enters the area of play. Fantastic strike there from this man. Now, game point for New Century. They lead 10-9. The duo just exchanging words, making sure they are in the right frame of mind. But it's tied up, 10-all. Remember, they have to win this by a 2-point margin, so this game will not end on 11 points. Force the error, and now it's advantage to the Sunspots Lygia team. Match point for them. And Sunspots Lygia do get that decisive point. The team in orange now lead 2-0 in the series. The doubles team of Sean Ang and Chia Shin-ki victorious against New Century's Chu Zeyan and Xiao Jia Hao. Sunspots Lygia looking good for the win. And up next for the team in orange will be Daniel Leung. He'll be in singles action against New Century's veteran Zhu Mu. And see some of the other action on show here at our Tampines Hub. As mentioned before, 7 divisions happening here at our Tampines Hub in this competition. Over 100 teams playing, and an even greater stat, over 1,000 players participating in this ATT Singapore National Table Tennis League. And there you see Zhu Mu in green for New Century. He'll take on Sunspots Lygia's Daniel Leung. Sunspots Lygia, of course, looking to make a clean sweep. Already victorious in the first singles match, and in the second match, the doubles match, they also came out on top in straight games. If you tuned in to yesterday's live stream, you would have seen Zhu Mu in action. Daniel Leung looking for victory against the veteran Zhu Mu. Zhu in green, also a coach for the New Century Table Tennis Club. That's the man. Took part in quite an exciting game yesterday. Was 2 games down against Sunspots Elite, but it came roaring back to win the match. Unfortunately, it wasn't enough, as New Century still succumbed to defeat in the series. But his performance was inspiring yesterday. Perhaps he can be the catalyst for a New Century comeback. The match will now begin. Zhu Mu taking on Daniel Leung. Daniel Leung using his speed to get that point. Zhu Mu so controlled with his returns. Daniel Leung so far able to cope with Zhu. Great killer shot by this man. Turned up the tempo, forced the error. And he received a taste of his own medicine. Daniel Leung doing the same to him. That's just why it didn't hit the table. Been a bright start by the Sunspots Lygia player. As he surges further ahead. Overhit that one. Tried to hit it across the table. Zhu just taking his time with that serve. Got very lucky with that. Could have gone anywhere when he hit the net. Worked out in his favor. And Zhu has dragged himself back into the contest. Just 1 point behind now. And he's tied things up. 6-all here in the first game. This singles match, the third of the best of 5 series. New Century down 2-0 in the series. Zhu Mu, who's in the lead now, looking to lead his team back into the series. Great composure by this man, Daniel Leung. Zhu Mu now 2 points behind. Cut that to 1. Still Zhu now with the serve. Overhead that. It's now 9-all. A tight affair here in the singles match. And now Zhu with a chance to win the first game. He's got game point in his sight. And Zhu does win that point to take the lead in this singles match. Zhu Mu a game up. See Daniel Leung just having a few words with his fellow teammate. It's the first game that Sunspots Lygia has lost today. In the first match, the singles match, they won that in straight games. In the doubles, they did the same, winning that in straight games. But they have to do it the hard way in this singles match. Zhu already ready. Just pacing up and down the area of play. Daniel Leung making full use of the time. And now he makes his way back for the second game of this singles matchup. Daniel Leung still looking to find his groove, trying to find his rhythm. Got his bearings all wrong with that return. Zhu enjoying a bit of a dominant spell. Now 4 points ahead in the second. Five without reply. Zhu's form heating up here in the second game. Hit the net and bounce out. Daniel Leung for Sunspots, winning the first point. But Zhu looks assured, seems to have found a bit of a groove, bit of a rhythm. Scoreboard now reads 7-1 to this man. Zhu restores his 6-point lead. And he further extends that 9-2 now to that man in the green. Great control there by Daniel Leung. Just kept it on target. Couldn't do so in that instance. And it's now game point for Zhu Mu. Huge margin for Daniel Leung. And he concedes another point. Zhu Mu now 2 games up in this singles match. Zhu looking to lead a new century comeback. Will be quite a good experience for this paddler, Daniel Leung, coming up against a veteran such as Zhu Mu. A great learning experience. Being able to test himself against older and better competitors. Now Zhu to get us underway in the third game. Had the idea, but couldn't execute it properly. Zhu slightly bit frustrated with that. He's conceded 2 straight points to start off the third game. That was brilliant play from this man, Daniel Leung. Net gets in his way. Unfortunate, really. Zhu finally getting his angles and bearings right. And he's level it up. 3-all in the third. He's regained his rhythm. Zhu. See him wasting no time, just getting the ball back. And back at the table with the serve. He is applying the pressure. And Daniel Leung is cracking under it. Great point for Daniel to win. Zhu now. Great rally between the two players. But Daniel Leung just couldn't steer it properly. Zhu closing in on victory. But not with that kind of shot. That goes long. It will be match point for Zhu Mu. A chance for the veteran player to put his team on the board in the series. And Zhu wins the point, and in turn, he takes this singles match. And that means New Century are on the board in the series, but they are still trailing. Sunspots Lygia still in the lead in the series, 2-1. And following that result, we will have a fourth match. It will be a doubles match. Sunspots Lygia will be represented by Mabel Ang and Tan Ching Kiat. They will take on New Century's Edmund C. and Ivan Chua. And the team's getting ready, just warming up for their match. You see the lady in orange, that's Mabel Ang, partnered by Tan Chun Kiat. New century will count on Edmund C. and Ivan Chora. Sunspots Elite in orange. They're in the lead in the series. 2-1. This is the 4th match of the best of 5 series. And the umpire has indicated the end of the warm-up. The match will begin in just a few seconds. New century will kick us off. And they do get the first point of this match. Here's Mabel Ang for Sunspots Lygia on the serve. Shunket hits that straight into the net. 2-2 here in the first game of the doubles match. Was giving the run around, if you like, sent the wrong way. A wily veteran move by Tan Chun Kiet. New century pulling one back. It is a 1-point game. And they level things up. Would be very disappointed with that new century player hit that straight into the net. Just gifting the point away. Again, the net in New Century's way. Mabel couldn't quite get the right connection. That was a swift shot down the middle. Caught New Century by surprise. Great work from Mabel. Chun Kiet now will reserve. Saw the swerve on that. Beautiful to see. Great point to win for Sunspots Lygia. Now game point for the team in orange. She got slightly a bit too excited. Still in with a chance to win this first game. And they do get that point. Sunspots Lygia on the board. Been a great performance by this duo. Kept things simple and effective. His teammates, we're hoping for more of the same. New Century racking their brains, looking for a way to win this match and possibly force a fifth match. New Century, of course, still looking for their first victory in Division 1. New Century played 3 series yesterday, lost all 3. Sunspots Lygia played 4, won just 1. But should this duo of Mabel and Tan Chun Kiet continue their form, they are in line for their second victory in Division 1. Great movement by the New Century guys. Knew exactly what they were gonna do. Was forced out wide. Had to stretch for it. Chun Kiet again with the serve. Mistake there. Tried to add a bit of spin behind that to steer it over the net. Overhit that, and now New Century with a 3-point lead. Mabel with the serve. Chun Kiet again overhitting that. Unable to get the right power behind his shots. A great point. New Century dominant in this second game. Almost caught Mabel Ang by a surprise there. Now game point for New Century. That goes out. New Century. Level matters in this double match. It's now 1 game apiece. Quick break. Hydration always important during such times. Mabel and Chun Kiet having a few words. Their coach getting a bit of pointers. Coach probably pointing out some errors that he's seen in the second game. The duo has opted to play simple table tennis. It was very effective in the first game. Didn't get the desired result in the second. And the 4 paddlers back at the table for the start of the third game. It threatened to go over the line. Unfortunately, it didn't fall for Mabel Leung. New Century trying to use speed to their advantage. Chun Kiet showing that he can match that, winning a point for his team. That's overhead. It's Tan Chun Kiet. The simple style of table tennis paying dividends for the team in orange. Back on level terms here in the third game. And now they take the lead. Couldn't find its mark. But New Century spurned that. The 2-point lead restored for Sunspots Lygia. But New Century pulling one back. Mabel Ang to serve. A rush has to return. The ball caught the bat at an awkward angle, causing it to go well wide of the table. Now New Century equaling matters. Fantastic strike from that man. Again, hit it across the table. Now 9-7 in favor of New Century. Now game point in sight for the team in green. The net coming to Sunspots Lygia's rescue. Chun Kiat hits that straight into the net. So that means New Century are now in the lead in this doubles match. They lead 2-1. New Century looking far happier now. Suffered an early setback, losing the first game, but they've recovered well, putting on disciplined performances in the second and third. Now the Sunspots Lygia team, let's see Tan Chun Kiat and Mabel Ang looking to regain that magic from the first game. Sunspots Lygia, of course, leading the series 2-1. But they are trailing 2-1 in this doubles match. They'll be buoyed by that. First point to Sunspots Lygia. Tried to hit it across the table. Failed to do so. Can see he was trying it again. This time he hit the net and out. Great play from Chun Kiat. He makes it 5 points. Now 6 without reply. Another error on the part of the New Century team. Mabel clearly disappointed with her effort. Just trying to get her motions right. Now 9-1 in favor of Sunspots Lygia. Chun Kiat perhaps waited a bit too long to get that shot away. And now it's game point for Sunspots Lygia. Chance for them to level things up. That's out. Hit straight into the net. That goes long. So that means it's 2 games apiece as we head into the 5th game in this doubles match. They controlled that match from start to finish. This duo, Mabel Ang and Tan Chun Kiat. They forced a lot of errors from the New Century team. That was a game that they would want to forget. Undone by so many errors. Edmund C and Ivan Chua making their way back to the table. Sunspots Lygia duo clearly enjoying their performance from that 4th game. And now let's see if they can replicate that kind of form here in the deciding game. Should a team in orange win this game, they will seal victory for Sunspots Lygia in the series. But should a team in green win it, they will force a 5th game in the series, sorry, a 5th match in the series, and that will be a singles match. Timeout call early on. Chun Kiat just giving his 2 cents to his partner. Now Mabel Ang will serve. Sunspots Lygia looking good with a 3-0 lead, but still too early to tell as New Century get a point back. Great strike, hit just at the edge of the table. Very hard to aim for that corner. Now 3-all in the 5th game of this doubles match. Following the point won, they will switch sides. Sunspots Lygia leading 5-3. Saw an opening and he took it, but failed to get the ball to make contact with the table. Team in orange keeping it simple. New Century being forced into making mistakes. It's Chun Kiat with the serve. Now 8-3, the team in orange lead. Mabel just telling her partner to calm down a little. Overhead again, New Century. Sunspots Lygia closing in on victory in the series. And now it is match point for Sunspots Lygia. A chance for them to wrap up the series. They had an idea in mind, but Chun Kiat couldn't find that edge of the table. New Century still battling. But that's hit straight into the net. That means Sunspots Lygia win the series 3-1. The team of Mabel Ang and Tan Chun Kiat victorious in this doubles match. New Century still looking for their first win in Division 1. As for Sunspots Lygia, they get their second win in the division. A great way to start the morning for the team in orange. And with that, we'll take a short break, but when we come back, we will have another Division 1 matchup. We will see another Sunspots team in action. Sunspots Elite will take on STTP Infinity. They will play out that fifth and final match, despite Sunspots Lygia already winning the series. Just a case of formality. Final singles match, Sunspots Lygia. Bevan Tan will be playing for them. He'll take on Ang Yong Che. Ang Yong Che for New Century in green. Just a case of salvaging some pride for New Century. No matter the outcome, they still be left without a win in Division 1 so far. Following this match, we will see the matchup between Sunspots Elite and STTP Infinity. Sunspots Elite, of course, the defending champions. STTP Infinity, so far one of the front runners in Division 1 this year. But before all that, our attention will be on the Sunspots Lygia team. Here, Bevan Tan in orange, Sunspots Lygia already assured of victory in this series. They lead 3-1. So this final match will just be a mere formality. But its result could also determine the final rankings in the division. Just a matter of how many wins and losses that they can get in a series. Bevan in a rush to end this game, it seems. Bevan so quick with his shots, going one way and then the other. Didn't work out in that instance. Ang Yongche overhit his serve. A bit too casual, Bevan. Great rally between the two. Ang Yongche coming out on top there. And it's now game point for Bevan Tan. Couldn't get enough bend behind that. And he does get that decisive point. First game to Bevan Tan and Sunspots Lygia. Bevan all smiles. Victory in the series already assured for Sunspots Lygia. They lead the series 3-1 after 4 matches. And this singles match is the 5th of the series, 5th and final one. The two paddlers already back, eager to get the second game going. Bevan forced into a mistake there. Was caught on his back foot. I see Ang Yongche was also trying to get his motions right. Yongche escapes punishment. Bevan so cool after winning that point. Great defensive work from Ang Yong-Chie. Looked unfazed as he was staring down the attacks. And he's worked his way back into the contest, just 1 point behind. He falls further behind. Bevan now, man in orange, with 3-point lead now. Nine to 6 to Bevan. It all still a very tight affair. Yong-Chie knew immediately what went wrong. Now game point for Bevan. But Ang Yong-Chie staying close, 9 to 10. And he's leveled it up 10-all. Here in the second game. Overhit and it's long. 11 to 10. Bevan needs one more point. And he does get it. So Bevan he goes 2 games up in this singles match. The man looking so calm, relaxed, able to have a bit of a joke with his fellow teammates. Not the same mood for Yong-Chie. A look of concern on his face. You see the two players they just want to get the match going. Already back to the area of play. Yong-Chie serves to start the game. Yong-Chie just unable to get his bearings right. Most of his shots have gone long. But he's on the board here in the third game. Clinical strike from Bevan. Again, further extending his lead. Tried to disguise that shot and he went the other way. But just overhit that. Yong-Chie Hit it straight into the net. Again there. Bevan unable to execute his plan. This time it works for him. Bevan 7-3 up in the third. Make that 8-3. Yongche not looking too pleased. Has been shut out, and it's now match point for Bevan Tan. And Bevan Tan seals the win in this singles match, and in the process that means Sunspots Lygia victorious in the series 4-1. All smiles for the team in orange. They now have 2 wins in the division. So that concludes the first Division 1 matchup of the day on One Play Sports. But still to come, we've got another Sunspots team, Sunspots Elite. They'll be in action against STTP Infinity in another exciting Division 1 matchup. And Feng Wenyan for STTP Infinity. Sunspots Elite, of course, the defending Division 1 champions. They're taking on STTP Infinity, who are one of the front runners in this year's tournament. Isaac Kwek, considered to be one for the future in the Singapore table tennis scene. If you tuned into the live stream yesterday, you would have seen him in action in the last match of yesterday. Fell short in a valiant effort against the Safra A team. But Isaac Kwek definitely one of these standout players. You'll see why in just a few moments. Always so animated and vocal. It's great to watch as a spectator. Very exciting player. Very talented. Also one to wear his heart on his sleeve. Not one to shy away from emotions. And you got to remember that he's still very, very young, and he's coming up against players who are more experienced and older than him. This is Feng Wenyan. Isaac still unable to get out from the blocks. Still looking for his first point in this match. Feng already running away with it early on. 4 points without reply. Isaac finally gets his first point. Just quick thinking to put that down the line. Another classic example there for this young man.
Okay, table 15, Bukit Batok CSC win and B08 to table 15.
Couldn't get the right connection, Isaac. Nothing he could do about that. Feng sharpening his killer instincts early on. Isaac 3 points behind in the early goings. STTP Infinity played 4 matches yesterday, winning all 4 of their matchups. Definitely one of the teams to watch this year. They are in the running for that Division 1 title, and no better way to prove themselves than to get a win against the defending champions. And Feng shows the importance of a great start. He wins the first game. And that could be the catalyst of a big win for that table tennis club. Here's Sunspots Elite. Isaac Kwek being tended to by his teammate. Isaac has won numerous juniors titles rather, but has also competed in senior competitions. Has always made the grade, always through to the latter stages. Here's Isaac serving, looking for a way back into this match. Can't quite get his bearings right. Simple point to win for Feng. Feng just holding the edge over Isaac for the moment. The difference in experience apparent in the opening stages. Feng has been so effective with his style of play. Isaac Kwek not as animated as usual, not his usual self. Isaac has stayed relatively quiet. Just trying to focus, keep his concentration levels up. He's letting his table tennis do the talking. And he's pulled it all the way back to just a 1-point game. Unlucky with that. Feng keeping calm. That's much better from Isaac. Straight into the net. Isaac slowly creeping back up. Isaac winning the point, leveling matters. It's now game point for Feng Wenyan. Already a game up in this match. A chance for him to go 2 games up. But Isaac not letting him get away just yet. Stand all in the second game. Straight into the net, it's advantage with Feng Wenyan. That's straight into the net. Feng Wenyan will take the second game as well. the STTP paddler. Now 2 games up in the first singles match. Feng straight back at the table, waiting for the arrival of his opponent, Isaac Kwek. Feng looking to wrap this up quickly. Just a bit too much power behind that. Failed to trouble Isaac. That one caused problems to the young table tennis prodigy. Here's Isaac with his unique style of serve. Feng did really well there. Put it in a tricky area for Isaac to deal with. That one goes long. So Feng now in the lead by just a single point. Brilliant play again. Very clever. Hits it across to the other side. Isaac left stranded. And this time Feng aided by the net, and a timeout is being called. Feng will make his way back to his team's camp. I see Isaac also having a few words. Such instructions crucial to this stage of competition. A lot of information being relayed to Isaac Kwek. He has taken those instructions under consideration. It's all on his mind. It's now a true test of his mental strength and skills. Does he have what it takes? Team talk working out for Isaac. Hits it wide, but he make connection to the table. Isaac just a point behind. This time he fails to make contact. Disguised his serve, well worked there. Kinda used a bit of a body feint to put Feng off. It's now 8-all. Isaac now in the lead, 9-8. But in this match, he's still trailing by 2 games. Couldn't execute that. A tough shot to pull off. Isaac now with game point on his mind, and he does get it. Isaac pulling a game back. A much more improved showing. As Feng Wenyan. Lost out in the 3rd game. Started out brightly, winning the first 2 games. That's Isaac Kwek. The boys looking to stage a comeback. Still only in the first match of the series matchup between Sunspots Elite, the defending champions, against one of the front runners for the Division 1 title this year, STTP Infinity. Isaac hits it straight into the net. Feng understandably disappointed with that. Isaac serving. Feng with a 2-point lead. Feng further extends it to 3 points. Feng has been very methodical in his approach. He's been very effective, worked wonders for this man. (7-2) now, Feng leads. Isaac somehow got that point. He's breached the defenses. Isaac to serve. The boys 4 points behind. The mountain has become that much harder to climb for Isaac Kwek. It's now match point for Feng Wenyan. And Feng makes no mistakes. The mistake from Isaac Kwek hands the match to Feng Wenyan. That means STTP Infinity are in the lead in the series. And coming up shortly after, it will be the doubles match. Sunspots Elite will be looking to bounce back through Ethan Poh and Tae-Jik Kiat. The duo will take on Lin Tian and Wei Jiaqi. You see the match already started. Sunspots Elite, the first point. And just like that, it's 1-1 already. Sorry, 2-1 already. This match being played at quite a frenetic pace. STTPI (4-1) up, but just conceded another point. Sunspots Elite keeping pace. The team in black looking to play catch up. The first match, the singles match, we've seen Feng Wenyan pull off a victory over Sunspots Isaac Kwek. So STTP leads the series 1-0. And now the second match of the 5-match series, the doubles. It's all square now. The net just got in his way. That's a point to STTP. Fails to get the desired outcome. Seven all in this first game of the doubles match. STTP in the lead, 8-7. STTP led by the team of Lin Tian and Wu Jiaqi. They're definitely the team in form, STTP. Just yesterday, in all of Saturday's action, played 4 matchups and won all 4 of the series. The same cannot be said for Sunspots Elite. That's the team of Ethan Poe and Taejik Kiat. Ethan Poe, the man with the specs. Great strike there. It's now game point in sight for STTP. That's straight into the net. STTP will take the first game in this doubles action. They're definitely the team to beat, STTP. The Sunspots Elite, the defending Division 1 champions, but they've already suffered defeat yesterday in quite a tense affair against Safra A. Now the 2 sets of players making their way back to the table. All our attention on table number 1. It's been the news, it's been the case all weekend long. Seen some great table tennis action happen right here on that table. And expect more as the competition will conclude today. STTP finally with the first point in this second game. They were a bit worried when 3 points without reply, but that 3-point lead restored. Sunspots Elite, one of the biggest table tennis clubs in the country. Rushed his return, was almost net level, couldn't lift it up. That one went over the net and over the table. That worked to perfection for Ethan Poole. He knew what he was going to do as soon as he saw the flight pattern of the ball. Sent it the other way. And the net just putting Jikyet off. Sunspots Elite in black, looking for a way back. That's a poor one from the STTP player. It's now game point to Sunspots Elite. A chance for them to tie it up. Just a bit too nonchalant with his effort. Took his eyes off the ball. Never really committed to it. Tried to pull the trigger a bit too fast. That one goes long.
Don't forget to check out the qualifying rounds of the Epsom Cup over at Town Square.
Sunspots Elite spurning a few golden chances.
See Bikini Bottom come to life, join our party in stations, and win excellent prizes. Join our Northeast CDC's Get Up Roadshow on Festive Northeast and catch the Singapore National Table Tennis League over at the Community Auditorium and show
Sunspots Elite tying it up. One game apiece. They'll be desperate to win this match and put themselves back on level terms in the series. In the earlier match, young Isaac Kwek represented the team in the singles competition. Fell to defeat to Feng Wenyan. That's the STTPI duo of Lin Tian and Wu Jiaqi. The two won their first game, but lost the second. They will want to bounce back here in the third. There you see the scoreboard reads 1-1, 1 game apiece. STTPI to serve. Brilliant strike there. Placed himself in a dangerous position. Just tried to scoop it onto the table. Put a bit too much behind that. Well, that was a devastating shot. It opened up for him, broke kindly for him, and he fully took advantage. Bit unhappy with that, the STTP player. Sunspots Elite slowly growing in confidence in this match. Great strike from Ethan Poe. He's been very sharp today. Now Jake Kiats take the serve for Sunspots Elite. Again, sharp movement from Ethan Poe. STTP 3 points behind. And they've fallen further behind. Failed to get the point in that instance. But still quite a margin. And that's game point for Sunspots Elite. That puts them 2-1 up in this doubles match. The team in black looking good. Ethan and Jake Kiet to serve to get us underway in the fourth game. Sunspots Elite looking for the victory that will put them on level terms in the series. STTP lead the series 1-0 following Feng Wenyan's singles win. But here in the doubles, their pairing of Lin Tian and Wu Jiaxi in a bit of a battle against Sunspots Elite. The boys in red struggling with the might of Sunspots Elite. Ethan again, just very sharp, so lethal with his shots. Like, just give him an inch and he will punish you. Ethan just putting a bit more power behind his shots to force that mistake from the STTP players. Didn't work out for Ethan Poe that time. Probably had gotten a bit too comfortable with that tactic. Now Jake Kiet to serve. Ball was already traveling too low. Required quite an effort to lift it over and onto the table. Was looking for that deft touch. Wasn't accurate enough. This time he opted for power. Same outcome for him, unfortunately. No points. STTP enjoying a better showing here in the fourth game. Sunspots Elite now 2 points behind. But that mistake from Ethan Poe means it's game point to STTP Infinity. And they do get it. STTP Infinity tie matters at 2 games apiece. We'll go to a 5th game in this doubles matchup. The 4 players back on court. Can say it is the red carpet treatment. The center court, table number 1. The main event of all the action here at the ATT Singapore National Table Tennis League. This matchup has been a really tight affair. Really close call. Very little to choose between the 2 sides. Poor one straight into the net, gifting the point. That's 2 free points to Sunspots Elite. STTP keeping close tabs on Sunspots. They're 2 points behind, and after 8 points being played, they will switch sides. This is the 5th and final game of the doubles match. Following the conclusion of this, we will see singles action for Sunspots Elite. We will see Tuan Liang, and for STTP Infinity, we will see Kao Menghi. See Sunspots, they have a bit of a tactic. Using codes under the table, you can see great point to win. Sunspots Elite still just 2 points ahead. Really fine margins between the 2 sides. That goes long. It's a 1-point game. Unfortunate jig kit. Couldn't make connection with the table. Sunspots Elite edging closer to a win in this doubles match. They lead 9-7. And it will be match point for Sunspots Elite. Ethan Poe and Tejik Kiat, they'll be very excited at that prospect. They now must keep it together. They can't afford to make such mistakes. And Jake Kent wins the match for Sunspots Elite. Now as it stands, the series is tied at 1-1. And as mentioned, following this, we will have singles action. Sunspots Elite will be represented by Tuan Liang, and as TTP Infinity, they can count on Kao Menghi. So stay tuned. In just a bit, we will have that singles match. And this singles match will start very soon. Kao Menghi for STTP, he's the one in red. He will serve to start this singles match. For Sunspots Elite, the one in black, that's Tuan Liang. Kao with some rapid attack. Mistimed his shot there. And almost immediately, Tuan back on level terms. Being played at quite a tempo this match. Got really lucky there, Tuan Liang. Just managed to creep in, handing him the point. Tran going 6-2 up. Liang running away with it. 8-2 he leads in the first game of this singles match. This is the third match of the 5-match series. The series now tied at 1-1. STTP won the singles match, but they fell short in the doubles match. Kao gets a point back. Chipping away at the lead, but could be a bridge too far considering that Liang is in sight of a game point. Or another mistake. Menghi closing down on that lead, but he took it too far, and that means Liang wins the first game of this singles match. Will now take the short break to gather his thoughts. We think of tactics. Tran already a game up. He'll serve out to start the second game. Just so clean his shots. Perhaps slipped up a little there, Tran. This Menghi, he must have breathed a sigh of relief. Couldn't keep it in play, Menghi. Tran so clinical, but that time went off the table. Same problem for Cao. Menghi just Tran just overhit that. Finds himself 2 points behind now. Menghi hoping to bounce back following that first game loss. He's on his way. Menghi 7-4 up. The point in favor Daniel Leung. Tran cuts the lead to just 1. But that one was off target. Tran deceived by Cao's serve. Was properly executed. Hard to deal with such serves. That Spurs went straight into the net. Poor serve, and that means Menghi wins second game. That ties this matchup at 1-1. Still all to play for. Menghi showing a lot of improvement in that second game. As Daniel Leung for Sunspots Elite. Fell off the pace a little in that second game. Be hoping to recapture his form from that first game here in the third. couldn't get the control that he wanted. Tran winning that point. Really aggressive there. Menghi still stuck on that 1 point. He's finally added another. Three all here in the third game. Tran serves. Such a tense game this. All the noise that you're hearing from the stream are coming from other tables, where I see teammates cheering on each other. It's been very serious here at table 1. Not a peep from any of the players nor their teammates. They've been fully fixed, eyes firmly on the table, just hoping for the best from their teammates. Too close to call this match. Menghi just edging ahead for the moment. 7-6. Tran tried to pull the trigger. Didn't work out as he had expected or what he had in mind. It's 8-all. Menghi. Menghi still just 1 point behind. He levels it After that mistake from Tuan Liang, 9-all here. Great strike, a really fine strike by Cao Minqi. It's now game point for the STTP paddler. Failed to do so, but finally some life on the bench. You see Sunspots Elite team suddenly finding their voice, cheering on Tuan Liang. He certainly appreciates that. Minqi needing a point, and he fails to do so. It's 11-all here in the third game. All square again. Left on the floor, Tuan Liang. As before, Minqi that's advantage now with Tuan. Takes it up to 12-11. And Tuan takes this game. The score in this match stands at Tuan Liang 2, Cao Minqi 1. There you have it, that confirmation. Tuan leads 2-1. See the camaraderie between the Sunspots Elite players. Having a bit of a laugh, while at the same time offering their advice to Tuan. It's Cao Minqi, a bit unfortunate to lose out in that game. Both players matched each other throughout that entire game. Fortunately, someone had to lose, and that someone was Cao Minqi. But the match still up for grabs. Minqi can still turn this around. He screws that high and wide. Tran unable to deal with that. Forced the error. And a timeout now has been called by the STTP team. Both players will take this time to refocus. As for STTP, just relaying more instructions. It is a crucial game for the team in red. Menghi returns to take his place on the far side of the table. On the near side is Liang of Sunspots Elite. Just wide. Point goes to Menghi. The crowd gathering around table one. Very interested in what's happening here. A battle between the defending champions and one of the new front runners for the Division 1 title. Tran with the serve. Has to be retaken. Menghi now with the serve. Tried to pull the trigger, didn't find its mark. And Tran cuts the deficit to just 1 point. Great strike from Tran. Menghi's return went straight into the net. It's Kao with the serve. and almost a carbon copy of the previous point. Tran feeling confident. That's totally high and wide. Kao feeling the heat. That concludes the end of the match. Tuan Liang Cheng wins it. Great win for Sunspots Elite. And Tuan's win means Sunspots Elite lead the series 2-1. And up next we will have doubles action. Sunspots will be represented by Kelvin Wee and Yin Ching Yen. They will take on STTP's Daniel Leung and Zheng Zhen. And the fourth match of the 5-match series is about to commence. In black, Sunspots Elite, represented by Kelvin Wee and Yin Ching Yen, taking on STTP's Zhang Zhengling and Zheng Zhen. Sunspots Elite leading the series now, 2-1. There's a chance to seal the victory before the final match, which will be a singles match. Following the conclusion of this, we will see Sunspots Zhang Tengji take on Tang Hua of STTP. And there the doubles match has started. STTP drawing first blood, taking the first point. That's a clever one. Just dinked it neatly. Completely fooled his opponent. That one was just simply too aggressive. Lacked patience and control. Sunspots again winning point after point in the opening stages of this doubles match. Forcing another error from the STTP team. The two teams still sizing each other up. And the first attack successful for Sunspots. There you see another example of it. Saw an opening, took it, and was rewarded. Ooh, that was unlucky. Tried to bend it around the net. STTP sticking close to Sunspots Elite. But that mistake pushes them further away. So 1 point game, 7-8. STTP trailing by just a point. But they've leveled matters. It's 8-all. Misjudged that. But a mistake from that Sunspots Elite player means it's now 9-all in this doubles encounter.
Welcome to our company's house. This weekend, don't forget to check out the qualifying rounds at the Epsom Cup over at Town Square, and join us too in celebrating the 20th anniversary of Sunspots Squarehouse over at Arena at OTH. See Bikini Bottom come to life, join our party game stations, and win excellent prizes. Join our Northeast CDC's Get Up Roadshow along festive walkies, and catch the
That goes long.
over at the Community Auditorium and share participants support. For details on this and other programs,
Sunspots Elite
please visit our information counter on level 1. Our Tampines Hub, there's something for everyone.
into double digits. It's 10-all now. Bit of a rally between the two teams. In the end, it was Sunspots Elite who came out on top. They have the advantage. And they take the first game in this doubles match. Sunspots Elite leading the way now. 1-0. This is a crucial game in their efforts to defend their ATT Singapore National Table Tennis League title. They are, of course, the defending champions. As for STTP Infinity, they were unbeaten throughout all of Saturday's actions. Kept a 100% win record, but that record in danger of slipping away from the team in red. STTP looking for fresh ideas, perhaps newer tactics. That's returned back with authority. Thankfully, it was out for STTP. That one stayed in. That puts them 2 up. Went with a bit too much power behind that. Just got ahead of himself there. Got too close to the ball. Clever play. Played it in just as the player was running back. And that's out. Just tried to scoop it up and over. Got his angles slightly off. Poor serve. STTP again with the serve. Great play by Sunspots Elite. They're now in the lead. A slender 1-point lead. But that's dashed quickly. Back on level terms, the two sides. Put a bit of venom behind that. Didn't work out. Now again, game point for Sunspots Elite. And they finish it off. They go 2 games up against STTP in this doubles match. Sunspots Elite on course for victory in the series. They're of course leading 2-1 after 3 matches. And they are 1 game away from sealing a win in the 4th match. There's of course 1 more match to be played after this doubles action. It will be singles match. Sunspots Zhang Zhengqi will take on STTP's Tang Hua. Now a switch of ends. And the 3rd game gets underway. That one couldn't get over the net. That one did, but it went over the table as well for STTP. STTP try again. Was successful, forced the error. Got his serve all wrong. Went for power, was rewarded. Sunspots adding another point to the tally. The net just getting in their way. Now it's match point rather for Sunspots Elite. And Sunspots Elite win the match. And that seals victory in the series as they go 3-1 up. Still one more match to be played, but victory is assured for Sunspots Elite. Been a great performance. STTP Infinity had a perfect record yesterday, but they are unable to do the same here on Sunday. And now we'll head straight into the fifth and final match, which will be a singles match. In black for Sunspots Elite, it's Zhang Dengqi, and in red for STTPI, it is Tang Hua. Sunspots Elite will enjoy this. Victory over a title contender. Sunspots would want to add gloss to this victory. They'll be hoping Dingqi can add another point by winning his match and taking the result to a 4-1 series win. And here we go. First point to the Sunspots Elite player, Ding Chi. That's Tang Hua, the STTP singles player. Ding Chi caught on his back foot as he was about to return the shot. Doing well so far, Ding Chi, in this opening stages. It's a point to Tang Hua. Tang Hua now to serve again. But that's hit straight into the net, Ding Chi. He'll not be pleased with that. Ding Chi now on the serve. Was caught out by Tang Hua. Great play by this man. Failed to get the right contact behind that ball. Ding Chi behind by a point. But he worked hard to get that point back. All square at 6-6. Goes long, Ding Chi. Can't afford to make such mistakes as Sunspots Elite player. That just went wide from Ding Chi. It's now game point for STTP's Tang Hua. Hit that straight into the net. Ding Chi lives to see another point. Tang Hua got extremely lucky with that. A fortuitous bounce off the net and in. So Tang Hua leads this singles match a 1-0. Now the second game. Tang Hoa went for the spectacular. Would have been amazing if he had pulled it off. Wasn't able to, but it was really close. Tang Hoa, who is of course leading by 1 game. Ting Shi stood his ground, defended really well against Tang Hoa. Oh, and that was brilliant from Tang Hoa. Point goes in Tang Hua's favor. And that's off target. Tang Hoa building on the lead. It's now 3 points ahead. Adds another, it's 4. 6-2 to the STTP paddler. Ting Shi can't quite get his bearings right. Five points the difference. Yet again, another fantastic play, clever play from this man Tang Hoa. He's using the edge of the table, just putting a great shot down the line. Ooh, was forced back. Can only stretch to get the ball back into the area. And that's long. Tang Hoa with another win in another game. So he goes 2 games up. Tang Hoa taking a sip of the water. He's been brilliant so far. Unfortunately, a win here would not do much for STTP's cause. They're already 3-1 down in the series. Might help out in the final standings. We'll see how that works out. But for the moment, it is Sunspots Elite with the all-important victory in this series. Menghi with a 2-point lead, hoping to build on that. Hasn't been able to get the better of Tang Hua. A lucky bounce off the net. Menghi still holding on to that 2-point lead. But here's Tang Hoi the serve. Brave of Menghi to try and switch direction quickly, but Tang Hoi was ready for it. He read it well. In the end, came away with the point. And the scores are level now at 4-4 in the third game. Menghi winning the point. He regains and restores that 2-point lead. Menghi did really well to deal with the earlier attacks. And as that went wide, he wins the point. Menghi still just about getting his head above water. Now with a 1-point lead. Two-point lead, again back for Menghi. Forced high, Tang Hua. Quite a margin now to make up. 3 points behind. But he closes the gap as he adds a point to his tally. He is closing in. Tang Hua just a point behind. Serve to be retaken. That's hit straight into the net. It is game point for Menghi. And Dingji wins the game, staying alive for the moment. But Dingji still trailing 2-1. And now the fourth game of this singles match. This is last match of the series between Sunspots Elite and STTP Infinity. Sunspots Elite already assured of a win. They lead the series 3-1. And in this final game, it is STTP with the advantage. Tang Hua leading 2-1, hoping to salvage a bit of pride for his team with victory here. His force long. Tang Hua, a very tricky player. One who can match the speed and tenacity of his opponent. Can also switch directions just like that. Turn on the power in an instant. Wasn't successful that time. 4-all here in the fourth game. Tang Hua winning the point. Dingji unable to deal with the onslaught dished out by this man, Tang Hua. And that's just great defending from Dingji. The only way he could deal with that was to steer it in the opposite direction. Was successful, but it's a very difficult move to pull off, especially in the heat of battle. Dingji read that well. Tang Hua tried to switch up directions, but Dingji was ready for it. Adjusted his body well. Stretched his arms wide and got the right contact behind the ball. He's finding his groove in the latter stages of this match. Straight into the net. Unfortunate for Tingji. Had been on quite a roll. And now game point for Tingji. And he does get it. He levels it. It's now 2 games each. We will go to a 5th game to decide this singles match. Tang Hua has lost a bit of steam in the last 2 games. It came out storming, winning the first 2 games. But it's this man, Zhang Dingji, finding the groove at just the right moment. Has been brilliant in the past 2 games. Was down by 2, but now it's level at 2 games each. Thankfully for Tingji, ball bounced out instead of in. We've seen so many times the ball just hits the net. That goes long for Tingji. It's Tang Hua with the serve. Great play from Tingji. Just incessant with the pressure. Kept bombarding Tang Hua with such shots. Tang Hua keeping pace, just a point behind. And now Tang Hua on level terms, 3-all. Great rally between the 2 players, but just lost out. Tang Hua wins the point. Tang Hua with the serve. Now the 2 players will switch sides. Tang Hua leading 5-3. A 2-point advantage for him. Fortunate again. Tang Hua went wide. Ding Chi winning the point. The two players being forced into making mistakes. Shots hasn't been as crisp as in previous games. Perhaps signs of tiredness seeping in. They have been involved in grueling table tennis action since yesterday. Now Tang Hua further extending his lead. He's now got a 4-point lead. And a timeout's been called. The two players could use with some water, staying hydrated. Tang Hua leading 9-5. 2 points away from winning this match. That was a great play between the two players. Kept the shot in. Had power behind it as well. Great work. Didn't work out for Ding Chi, and it's now match point for Tang Hua. And Tang Hua wins the match. He takes it 3-2, but unfortunately that is not enough for STTP because the victors of the series are Sunspots Elite. They take the series 3-2. And now the competition will take a short lunch break, but when we come back, we will have one more Division 1 matchup. It is the series between Safra A and Sunspots Lygia. We'll see you then.